Hey guys, welcome back. Before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself since I haven't done that in a long time. This is for any new listeners who may want to know who I am. I'll keep this under a minute. Hello, I'm Sherry. I've been hosting From the Dark Side for the last 4 years and 9 months. For those who don't know me or my story, I need you to know that I come to this show with a deep understanding of grief and loss. A few years ago, my life changed forever when I lost my teenage son. One day, we're talking about what concert he was going to go to next and which friend he would be hanging out with over the weekend, and the next day he was gone. Our lives were forever changed in just a moment. So when I talk about victims on this podcast, people who have died, it's not just storytelling to me. I carry my pain into every case. I know what it feels like to lose a part of yourself. I honor every life I speak about on here, and I feel for their people that they left behind. This show started out on YouTube for the first 2 years, and in 2022, I moved over to Spotify, Apple, SiriusXM, and other platforms. I do still upload each episode to YouTube for those who like to listen over there. New episodes are available on Mondays. We talk about murders, disappearances, and all kinds of true crime stuff. I haven't actually sat down and listened to a full true crime podcast in a very long time. But I remember when I used to listen to them, I hated banter and ads interrupting the story, so I try to spare you all from that. So welcome and thanks for being here. Please consider me one of your friends. Today we've got a case out of Ohio. This case made me so angry and it was so senseless, and luckily it is solved, so we get some closure in this one. This is episode 153. The case of Ashley Biggs. We're going back to 2012. The Summer Olympics were held in London. The Curiosity rover landed on Mars. Barack Obama was re-elected president of the U.S. There was a mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School. That was one of the saddest news stories I can remember. The Mayan calendar predicted the world was going to end on December 31st, 2012. Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps became the most decorated Olympian of all time, having 4 gold medals and 2 silvers. And in weird news from 2012, a man in China was caught trying to avoid overweight baggage fees by wearing all his clothes. 7 shirts, 9 pairs of jeans, and a bunch of jackets. He ended up fainting from being overheated while waiting to board. He didn't even make it on the airplane. June 21st, 2012. It's 11:45 p.m. in New Franklin, Ohio, and the manager of a Dominos pizza, whose name is Matthew, and one other employee, a 25-year-old woman named Ashley, are cleaning up and getting ready to close the store. It's just the 2 of them working. Suddenly the phone rings. It's rare that they get a delivery call at 11:45 p.m., but Matthew takes the call. A woman is on the phone and she wants a pizza delivered. She wants it to be half mushroom, half pepperoni. Matthew asks for the address and she says 647 West Turkeyfoot Lake Road. Matthew says, "All right, give us a few minutes." Ashley is his best employee and he tells her, "Sorry, Ash, got a late night delivery." Ashley is fine with it. The location was only about 5 minutes up the road. She would be there and back within 10 to 15 minutes. Matthew asks her if she wants him to go with her, and she says, "No, I'll be okay." She gets the pizza out of the oven and places it into the insulated pizza bag and walks out to her car, telling Matthew that she'll be back in a flash. 20 minutes go by, and Ashley's still not back yet. Then 30 minutes. The store should be closed by now, but Matthew can't leave until Ashley comes back. He tries to call her cell phone, thinking maybe she just went on home after delivering the pizza, but Ashley doesn't answer. Matthew is good friends with Ashley's partner, Brittany, and he calls her and asks if Ashley was home or if she knew where she was. Brittany says no, Ashley hasn't come home yet. Matthew gets in his car and drives to the location and doesn't see Ashley's car there, so he comes back. He can't wait around any longer since she may be in serious danger, so he calls police and reports Ashley missing. Ashley Biggs is 25 years old. She was raised by her mother, Kimberly. When Ashley was a teenager, she struggled and school was really hard for her. She preferred to dress masculine and kept her hair cut short, and she was constantly getting remarks from others about being a lesbian. When she was 17, she met a man named Chad Cobb. Chad was 22, so a few years older. They begin dating, and Ashley discovers she is pregnant. Ashley gave birth to a daughter when she was 18. For a while, things were good, but when their daughter was a toddler, her and Chad split up. Ashley loved being a mom, and friends and family say everything she did was for her daughter. She loved taking her to the park and playing games and just being her mom. I'm purposely omitting her daughter's name on here for privacy. Her daughter is around 20 years old today, but she was still a minor during all of this. Ashley wants to be able to give her daughter the best life she possibly can. One way to ensure she would have extra income coming in and further her education was to join the military. She thought, if I can just do this for a little while, it will help ensure I can provide for my daughter long term. In 2008, Ashley and Chad work out an agreement so Ashley can join the Army. Full custody of the child would be given to Chad. When Ashley returns from the military in a couple years, they would split custody 50-50. Both parties agreed on this arrangement. Ashley sets off to the military, but once she had completed basic training, she was medically discharged due to asthma. She returns back to Ohio. Once she is settled, she reaches out to Chad by phone to let him know that she's back and wants to see her daughter, and she's ready to go back to their regular 50-50 custody agreement. But someone else answers the phone when she calls him. This person says they don't know who Chad is. Chad had his number changed. She drives to Chad's house but learned he had moved out. Ashley knows this is going to be hard. Chad is not wanting to go back to having to share custody. Ashley is going to have to wait a little longer. Chad had moved on with his ex-girlfriend, whose name is Erica. He and Erica got married. Erica had a child of her own. Her and Chad had 2 children together, and they have Chad and Ashley's daughter, so they've got 4 kids living with them. In 2009, 3 years before our story, Ashley meets a woman named Brittany, and they hit it off and begin dating, and eventually they have a full committed relationship. By 2011, Ashley is tired of Chad not letting her see her daughter, who is around 5 or 6 years old now. She tried to ask him, she tried pleading with him. He's not budging. So Ashley has no choice but to have to go through the legal system. She's going to have to put up money for a lawyer and attend hearings, but she's willing to do whatever she has to do to at least get partial custody of her daughter. She explains that she joined the military and that is the only reason why she signed over custody. This ends up working out because a very understanding judge decides Ashley will get full custody of the little girl. This is only a temporary thing until a permanent arrangement can be ordered. But for now, Ashley has full custody, and her family and her partner Brittany are so happy for her. Some of Ashley's family had never had the chance to meet the little girl, so Ashley brings her around and lets her meet her side of the family. Chad still gets visitation, though. She had to go to his house for visitation on the weekends. But Chad is pissed off now. This isn't what he wanted. He wanted full custody, not Ashley. He's already got 3 other kids at home with his wife Erica, and he wants his other daughter back. Ashley's like, yeah, good luck with that. I have this court order now, and I'm her mom, and I have temporary full custody. Ashley's mother, Kimberly, told A&E's American Justice that this is when all of Ashley's troubles really started. Chad is going to make her life a living hell. To go back for a moment, she also revealed that when Chad and Ashley were together in the years before she joined the military, Chad was abusive. He would allegedly hit her and emotionally abuse her. He kept her from her family. Mom says that when Chad first came around, he was very charming and seemed like a lovely guy, but eventually he became a completely different person. In June of 2012, Ashley was working two jobs. She was a janitor at a college, and in the evening, she worked at Domino's Pizza as a delivery driver. On the night of June 20th, 2012, a late night phone call comes through. Matthew takes the order, and Ashley prepares the pizza. She drives out to this location on Turkey Foot Lake Road, which is listed in Akron, Ohio. It's a mile and a half up the road from the Domino's, so she should be right back. The caller had left instructions to come around to the back of the building. When police were informed by Matthew that Ashley hadn't returned from this delivery, they make their way out to the location. It's around 1 o'clock in the morning. They are checking the side of the road to see if maybe she crashed somewhere, but there's no sign of an accident. When they arrive, they see this address belongs to a small business, but the business was closed. All the lights are out and everything. It's got a parking lot that wraps the building, and they go around back, and they don't see Ashley or her gray Ford Taurus anywhere. However, what they did find was disturbing. It's very dark behind this building. So dark they only really have their headlights and flashlights. First, they see these little paper dots on the pavement, almost like from a hole puncher. Police know someone used a taser. I didn't know this until today, but some tasers come with confetti. The reason for this is to show that a taser was used. It leaves evidence everywhere. They also found scattered change. But the most damning evidence was they found a large pool of blood, and there's drag marks in it, leaving a trail of blood. Whoever's blood this is needs medical attention right away. This likely isn't a robbery. Most people aren't going to commit this level of crime over $20 from a delivery driver. This is a carefully planned murder. Brittany, Ashley's partner, had arrived at the Domino's, and she's talking to the police there. They ask her if Ashley had any enemies. Brittany says yes, she is in the middle of a messy custody battle with her ex-boyfriend, Chad Cobb. Brittany feels Chad may have something to do with this and tells the police to look to Chad. Police make their way over to Chad's house. Chad drives a black Lincoln Navigator, and it's not sitting outside the house. He's not home. So they head over to the next stop, which is a house belonging to Chad's grandparents. Maybe he's there. It's around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's still very early and dark outside. When they arrive, they see the black Lincoln Navigator is parked behind a detached garage. They walk up to it, and Chad isn't in the driver's seat, but his wife, Erica, is sitting in the passenger seat. In the back seat were their 4 children, including Ashley's 7-year-old daughter. Why does this woman have 4 small children with her at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning? While they're talking to Erica, they hear a rustling sound coming from the woods. Police draw their guns and enter the woods. They find Chad crouched down and hiding behind a tree and bring him out and place him under arrest. They also placed Erica under arrest. The 4 children were left with Chad's grandparents. Police interview both Chad and Erica separately, and neither of them are talking. They tell them Ashley is likely needing medical attention ASAP due to the amount of blood found behind that business. So where is she? Where is her car? They both say they can't help. Sorry, they want lawyers. Once that happens, police aren't going to be able to question them any further without a lawyer present. Erica ends up getting released, but Chad stays in custody. The next day, police go back to the scene now that it's daylight. They found zip ties near the pool of blood. It's apparent that someone was tasered, brutally attacked, and then bound with zip ties and taken somewhere. There's still no sign of Ashley or her car anywhere. They go to the woods where Chad was coming out of to see if she was in there somewhere, but she wasn't. Police have an airplane looking for this car. They also had dive teams check the local bodies of water, but their searching came up empty-handed. Around lunchtime, this is about 11 hours after Ashley disappeared. A woman in a neighboring county came outside on her porch. Her house sits on a hill and overlooks a lot of cornfields. It's a really pretty view. She sees something in the cornfield way off in the distance. It had been there early in the morning, but she didn't think much of it. Maybe someone was working out there. She sees it's something shiny, but she can't make out what it was because it's so far away. From where she sits, it looks small, but it was something much bigger. She calls the police, and they come out to investigate what this is. They go deep into the cornfield, and as they get closer, they see this is someone's car. Specifically, it's a gray Ford Taurus. Not knowing what they're going to find when they reach it, they prepare themselves that this could be gruesome. They arrive and look into the car, and laying between the front and back seats is what appears to be a body. They ran the tag to confirm if this was Ashley's vehicle or not, even though they're 99% sure that it is. It comes back as being registered to Ashley Biggs. They call Kimberly, Ashley's mother, and ask her if Ashley had any identifying tattoos, and she said yes. Ashley has 2 stars, one on the back of each arm. They tell her, okay, we'll call you back in a few. They call her back and say, we believe we have found your daughter and she's deceased. Kimberly told A&E's American Justice that it was at that point her whole world was gone. She said everything that she had loved in her life was gone. Brittany was also informed that Ashley was found deceased. Ashley had a large zip tie around her neck. Zip ties were around her wrists and a few other spots. She had taser wires connected to her body. She had a bad injury to her head. She had black duct tape on her. She was wearing a Domino's pizza shirt with blood on it, and there was blood in the car. Her cause of death was determined to be strangulation from the zip tie. She was 25 years old. On the passenger seat of the car was the insulated pizza bag, as well as the sticker that goes on the pizza box that lists the order along with the caller's name and address and time of the order. It reads Jen, along with a phone number and the address, which was obviously a bogus address. The address was for a small business that was closed during that time of the night. It's clear that Ashley was set up and lured there. Police obtained a search warrant for Chad and Erica's house. In the backyard on this makeshift table, they found zip ties consistent with the ones found on Ashley and at the crime scene. They found camouflage clothing, a black neoprene mask, a taser, a night vision flashlight, and a roll of black duct tape. This is like Christmas morning for lead detective Michael Hitchings. This is all the evidence they need to charge Chad with murder. He was indicted on aggravated murder, kidnapping, robbery, assault, tampering with evidence, grand theft since he took Ashley's car, abuse of a corpse, possessing criminal tools, and domestic violence. So that's one person down. However, if you can remember when the call was placed for the pizza, it was a woman who called and said her name was Jen. Erica was in the car with the 4 kids while Chad was doing whatever he was doing in the woods. Most people, including me, believe Erica is not innocent in all this. In fact, Erica is quite a conniving, manipulative person, and we'll get more into that in a moment. But Detective Hitchings knows Erica can't walk away scot-free. He's going to have to really work to get some hard evidence that will stick. They can arrest her all day long, they can charge her, but without some solid proof that she was involved, a jury would find her not guilty and it would all be a waste of time. While Chad is in jail, Detective Hitchings is carefully monitoring all of Chad's phone calls, especially ones between him and Erica, which were hundreds of hours. He's hoping that one of them will slip up and say something that will implicate Erica, but they never talk about the murder. The prosecution is really pushing for the death penalty. This has Chad worried out of his mind. He makes that clear in his phone calls to Erica by telling her, "They're trying to kill me." She's just like, "Oh, it's okay, sweetie, you'll be fine." Chad has his day in court. His lawyers had reached out and said Chad was willing to plead guilty to 9 of the charges as long as the death penalty was off the table. The state's attorney agreed to this request. Chad is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Everyone was very relieved and grateful that Chad was being held in prison for the rest of his life. However, there's this lingering feeling going around to the police, the state's attorney, and Ashley's friends and family. What about Erica? They need hard evidence that she was involved. They had hard evidence with Chad, but Erica is a little tougher. If it wasn't Erica that called that pizza in, we need to find the woman who called it in. This case is far from over. Meanwhile, Chad's mother has custody of Chad and Ashley's daughter. Everyone wants to move on, but it's impossible knowing that someone is equally as responsible as Chad and they're out living their best life right now. They know that the call that Matthew, Erica's boss, took that night was a female caller. She said her name was Jen. They traced the number and it was to a burner phone. During that first search of Chad's house, they found a Walmart receipt for prepaid minutes for a burner phone from earlier that day. They review the surveillance from Walmart and see Chad, Erica, and all 4 kids shopping. Erica doesn't appear to be in distress or that she's being held against her will. She's just shopping with her husband like normal. The prepaid minutes were added to this burner phone the day of Ashley's murder. Although this is helpful, it's still not solid proof that Erica helped commit a murder. Detective Hitchings assures Ashley's mom that he is not going to give up. He keeps Ashley's folder on his desk at all times. He tells her, "We will get the other person responsible." And for the next couple of years, Detective Hitchings visits Chad in prison. He always tells him, "If there's anything you want to talk to me about, just let me know." He is still monitoring calls between Chad and Erica, and he can see that they're having some issues. For starters, they divorced, and Erica eventually stopped bringing the kids to visit him. Detective Hitchings also learns that Erica has moved on. She has a new man in her life. The man happens to be Chad's best friend. He has moved into Chad's house. He's got his wife now and his kids, and she's currently pregnant. Meanwhile, Chad is sitting in prison every day just stewing about what is happening at his old house. Basically, his best friend came in and took over. And after being in prison for 4 years, Chad has finally reached a breaking point. In December 2017, he writes Detective Hitchings a long letter. He starts by wishing him a Merry Christmas. Then he tells him it was Erica that was involved. Erica was our caller, Jen. He also says Erica is manipulative and cunning and the whole mastermind behind the plan to kill Ashley. He said Erica drove him there and followed him to the cornfield while he drove Ashley's car. Chad says he's telling the truth and gives the detective some advice. He says, "Reach out to my mother. She may have some things that will help you out." Detective Hitchings meets with Chad's mother, and she has some evidence that will definitely implicate Erica. She had met with Erica multiple times and was secretly recording their conversations. She plays him a recording of Erica. Some of the things Erica says shows that she is guilty. For instance, she says, "Every time I hear sirens, I think they're coming for me." She also says that she had a part in it, and if police knew how much she was involved, she would be in prison. The prosecution feels this is enough evidence to convince a jury that Erica was guilty. Erica is pulled over by police for what she believes is a normal traffic stop. They tell her to step out of the vehicle, and she is arrested for the murder of Ashley. 7 years after Ashley's murder, they finally have the missing link. Erica's mugshot is shown on the news, and I really don't like that she's smirking in her photo. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's the bottom picture on the right-hand side. Ashley's family is so relieved, but this case is far from over. Erica goes to trial. She is facing murder and all the exact same charges Chad had. This case was weird because it was during the beginning of the pandemic. It was June 2020, so everyone is on video calls and wearing masks. It was all kind of chaotic. I like the assistant prosecuting attorney in this case. Her name is Felicia Easter. She tells the jury and the court in her opening statements a very important word: complicity. She explains that under Ohio law, complicity means that even if Erica didn't commit this murder, if she and Chad had came together and he did this big part and she did this little part, they are still equal to each other. Both are equally guilty. Trigger warning for this next part. Ashley's daughter is a teenager and is going to testify. She was in the car that night. She says that she heard Erica place an order for pizza. She thought it was strange that she used a different name. Even though she was only 7 at the time, she knew her stepmom's name was Erica, so why did she say her name was Jen? She also said how she doesn't have any memories of her mom, which is so sad. But everyone was shocked, even Chad, to learn that Erica was severely abusive to her. According to Cleveland 19 News, Ashley's daughter said that one day Erica made her eat dog feces. She claims that she would often hit her and tell her that if she told her dad, she would hurt her again. Trigger warning again, and this isn't child abuse, but definitely a messed up thing to do. A friend of Erica's testified that Erica told her she had defecated on Ashley's grave. When asked why she did it, she said, quote, "for all the shit she put us through." She also allegedly said that she wasn't sad at all that Ashley was dead. Photos of Ashley's car and her Dominos uniform and items inside her car were shown on the screen, and her mother had to see it all. That is so heartbreaking. When the autopsy photos were shown, her mom actually needed medical attention because she passed out in the courtroom. The state argues that the reason Erica and Chad killed Ashley is because they wanted sole custody of the little girl, and Ashley wasn't making it easy. She was fighting them at every step. They wanted to have the little girl and live as a family, but with Ashley alive, they weren't able to do that. Erica's defense attorney starts going on about how Chad is only claiming that Erica assisted with the crime because he is upset that she's living her life and he's in jail. He wants to be free. So he made up this story about Erica helping. Chad testifies against Erica and stuns the courtroom when he says not only did Erica come up with the idea, he says Erica is the one who strangled Ashley, not him. Most people don't believe this. They think Chad really did the killing, but Erica was 100% involved. She ordered the pizza, she came up with the plan, she drove Chad there and picked him up once it was done, all with 4 small kids in the back seat in the middle of the night. The jury goes back to deliberate and the clock is ticking. Everyone is on edge as the hours pass. Then day 2 comes and they still don't have a verdict. Then day 3 comes and they still don't have a verdict. This is getting really intense. Everyone thought it was this open-close case, but the jury is taking days, which isn't a good sign. That 3-hour recording of Erica talking about how she assisted with the crime is enough evidence to convince the jury that she is guilty. It's her own words that did it. Erica was found guilty of Ashley's murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 30 years. We're not done, though. You guys are going to hate this. In July 2022, after spending 3 years in prison, Erica's conviction was overturned due to the fact that Chad's testimony was remote. Her lawyers claim that she didn't get a fair trial because it wasn't in person. But we had COVID restrictions during that time. I know, it didn't matter. Erica gets a murder retrial. They go through all of this again. Erica now claims that they had plans to plant meth in Ashley's car and then call the police. If the police found meth in Ashley's car, the courts would take away her custody. Erica says she didn't know Chad was going to kill her. She thought they were just going there to plant meth. Her new claims didn't do much because Erica was found guilty a second time of Ashley's murder. Between both trials, 24 people in total have now found Erica guilty. Ashley's mom, Kimberly, gave a powerful impact statement. She had her moment and was able to speak directly to Erica. In her statement, she really laid into her. She said, "I had to bury my baby. No mother should have to bury their child. I hope they're out of your favorite things in the commissary. I hope when you call home, you get voicemail. I hope when you write home, your only pen has no ink and every pencil breaks. I hope those around you got to see the real Erica for the second time and will remove you from their life." In the end, Erica was given the exact same sentence. Hopefully, they restarted the clock. She is eligible for parole after 30 years. According to Kimberly, as of 2022, no one in Ashley's family has seen her daughter. I don't know if that's changed in the last few years, but her daughter had went to live with Chad's mom, and that was it. I don't know whatever happened to Brittany, Ashley's partner. I know she was there for the trial supporting Ashley's mom. I hope she was able to move on and find love again with someone else. Brittany told A&E in 2022 that she doesn't want Ashley to be remembered as the murdered Dominos employee. Instead, she should be remembered as someone who died fighting for her daughter. Knowing her daughter was being abused while in Erica's house and couldn't tell anyone is so sad. I'm glad she had a good parent like Ashley, even if it was just for a little while. It got her out of Chad and Erica's house. I'm glad that Ashley's daughter had a chance to face Erica in court. She got to give a statement as well. She's an adult and she has the power now, not Erica. She told her, "You are a killer. You had a plan and you followed through with it." She said Erica was sickening, untrustworthy, and a liar. Erica will be around 70 years old when she is up for parole. Chad will never be out of prison. He was still fairly young when he went to prison in 2012, so he will spend most of his life there. Ashley is buried in Hillside Memorial Park Cemetery in Akron, Ohio. Rest in peace to Ashley Biggs. That's it for this week, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care, and much love to you all.